All right, we are live right here on the MetsXMFanZone live podcast, home of your everything New York Mets. We want to say hello to everybody and welcome to our live stream here this afternoon. We're going to be talking about all of your latest New York Mets news, live streams, and also much, much more. But also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel because we give you guys so many Mets news throughout the off season. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Anthony. I am a 16-year veteran for MLB.com and also for the Mets.com. I've been a ghostwriter for 16 years in this business and behind the media and behind the masking. So we are in this live stream. We're going to be talking all your New York Mets news, live streams, and much more. But also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe so that way you guys can catch all of my live streams all season long. We are live on all social media platforms this afternoon. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and TikTok. We're going to take all of your questions. I'm going to scramble throughout the live stream because you guys are going to probably see me on different viewpoints here up on the screen for all of our different platforms. So we're going to probably be switching different scenes here on this live stream today. So I do apologize in advance. So I did say that we were going to be doing a profile on Craig Campbell. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that on this stream tonight. We didn't get the proper preparation for that profiling. We're just so busy with MLB, so we didn't get the proper preparation for that. So we do apologize in advance. But we will be taking some of your questions. So I will be going on to all of our platforms today, and we're going to be breaking down some of your latest New York Mets news. We'll talk about the platforms also as well, because if you are a follower on our platform, and if you are throughout all of our platforms, you guys could check out MetsXMFanZone.org. It is a great platform for Met enthusiasts, also for Met fans out there, because if you are looking for Met live streams throughout the regular season, or if you don't have cable, or if you're on a budget, our website is the plan to go. You guys must go check it out. It's $12.99 monthly, and we give you live streams. We give you spring training absolutely for free. We always do that every year. We give it to all of our members. And you get Met season, you get ESPN, MLB, Pix 11, and also SNY. But it's through our channel, through MetsXMFanZone.tv. So you guys could go and check it out. And just so everybody knows that we were going to do also our audio for tonight as well with some of our co-hosts. We're not going to do that tonight. We are going to do it tomorrow morning. So if you guys want to pop on into our live audio, tomorrow morning, we're going to do that at 8:30. So if you want to come in to our live stream tomorrow, you guys could do that. Make sure that you subscribe, share, and follow. So in order to be a member on our, if you guys would like to chat on our shows. All right. So we're going to take lots of questions here on the show because obviously I love, listening to people, kind of going into that. For some odd reason, it would be nice if I. Okay, here we go. We are going to talk a little bit on the Craig Campbell move, and then we'll go into all the other platforms with all of your questioning. Just so everybody knows, we are live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on TikTok, we're live on Instagram. So we are live on all major platforms tonight. If questions, please put the hand up on all those platforms. If you guys got questions for me to answer, I'll gladly answer them. Any news that's coming into my media room, which is Orange and Blue Media, which is right here on MetsXMFanZone Live, we're going to discuss here tonight. My co-hosts are with us. They will be behind the scenes tonight. They'll be chatting. They'll be answering it. Also, external questions as well as we go live on the streams. You guys know who you are. So let's touch up on one hot topic, which was the Craig Campbell. I will touch up on it though. So I don't have the graphics to put on the screen for everybody, but I will tell you guys though that what we know, what is there to learn about Craig Campbell? Obviously, he was a Cy Young Award winner. He had some really, really good years. Now, does this kind of like have a drawback for the New York Mets? You know, could he be in the starting rotation? More than likely not. He is a minor league move, which could very well go into the starting rotation, or it could very well go into the bullpen. They're bringing him for an invite to spring training, so it's kind of like just to get a little bit more veteranness of arms in the starting rotation. Could very well be in bullpen. These are guys you're going to probably see in the next couple of days that the Mets are probably just going to be picking up some arms. Same thing goes with some hitters. So the Mets are just filling out some roster at this point. But are there any top big free agent moves going in for the Mets right now? And I could definitely tell you, as of being on the floor this afternoon, that not much to really talk about right now, because right now the Mets are looking to make some changes, and they are looking to make some big splash moves. But I mean, more than likely going to happen by the trade deadline. So if there's a big splash move to be made, and if the Mets are doing good by the trade deadline, then we could potentially say Tyreek Screwball to be coming into the New York Mets. But obviously, there's been a lot of talk around the league, with Framber Valdez, and we heard a lot about Ranger Suarez in recent days. And I mean, there's so many names being drawn out there that it's, where do the Mets kind of go? Are they going to go and get another top pitcher? And I can sure to tell you that it's more than likely not going to happen. It's more than likely not going to happen a Tyreek Screwball or a big name for that matter. However, there are guys being put on that list that could be potential coming to the New York Mets. One would be Jake Pivetta. As of early this morning, that the New York Mets are still having high interest in Jake Pivetta. Could very well give a good positivity for that starter rotation. More than likely, we are hearing on a Zach Britton. Could also be potential in name, and also in Tyreek Screwball, still, potentially to make a big trade if the Mets are looking to do that. Again, that's probably down during the trade deadline if the Mets are successful and they are, pitching really good as of right now. Who is Jake Pivetta? Jake Pivetta is a starter pitcher, which I know a lot of people don't know who he is. I think he's a really, really good pitcher in my perspective. He's a deep arm guy that could take it deeper into game. Because right now, Where the Mets lack is going deeper into the game. They lack in. They're going in from the fifth inning, going into the sixth inning, because we got fourth inning pitchers right now. So having a guy like him would be, potentially to go deeper into the game, and I think he would definitely be a really good move. Zach Gallen, also a potential to be a big voice. Mets still having some interest in on him. These are still names being circulating around the New York Mets, and talking with the Mets PR, it's very likely that they are going to make these potential moves, but still on that 50-50, standpoint at this moment in the game. So, more than likely not. Um, hey, what's up, Daisy? What's going on, girl? That's my girl. By the way, that's Mount Man's wife. So if you guys would like to say hi to her, please feel free to do so. Tigers want too much prospects. I think with the Tigers, right now, you know, if the Mets would make a potential, say for argument's sake, the Mets make a potential move in bringing him in here, which is Tyreek Screwball, it's one or two key factors. They go and give them up all their top prospect, or they go and give up a lot of their, really top stars on the Mets, like Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, maybe Mauricio, being put in play on that. That has been in play. You know, maybe giving up Mauricio, Brett Beatty, even Mark Vientos, and even giving up like a top prospect, Carson Bench, which, again, I don't really see the Mets maybe, I don't see them doing that, but it could be potential that they might make a move like that. But, I mean, if you want to talk about towards the trade deadline, then maybe that would probably be a possibility. But I don't see, the Mets making any sort of move in that regard. I think they should just get more bullpen. The Mets definitely need a bullpen. I liked a lot of the transitions that the Mets made in the offseason, going with Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, because if you really want to talk with depth, those are the type of guys that you really, really have depth, because if you need really good pitchers late in innings, those are two potential big Met moves. Who else do I think that the Mets could get in as of now? I don't see the Mets getting a top bullpen piece. They don't. They need. I mean, they spend what 188 million on three players. No, I'm not. I don't think they're gonna go out and get bigger moves at this moment for bullpen wise. I think they're pretty good set there, and that's in my perspective. I don't see them going too far in depth. But I mean, as of right now, I think the bullpen looks really, really good in my opinion, because now you got depth with the starter rotation. Everybody's like, well, why don't we go and get some more starters out there? But I really do like the Freddie Peralta move, because now that you got a superstar starting rotation guy, which more than likely could be him at number one, then you got McLean maybe number two, maybe number three. Then you would go with David Peterson, then maybe Sean Manaea, then maybe Kodai Senga. Maybe. I think, going with that hamstring, that's sure a big of an issue, because once you hurt your hamstring, you're done as a pitcher at that point, because your lower body is definitely, your sacred ground, because when you're pitching, you're pitch with all of the lower body, not upper body strength. Um, Do I think bringing Louis Roberts Jr. was the biggest move in the offseason? As opposed to center field. Yes and no. I think with center field, you got more depth with center field because you get in a way, you know. Do I think it was a good pickup? No. Do I think it was a good pickup as opposed to having an outfielder? Yes. Left field, I think the Mets are giving Carson Bench the opportunity there at left field. They're not going to get another pick there. So if the Mets are looking to do another sign, it's not going to be another a top player. They're going to give the rookie a shot, you know, unless they go out and get another veteran like Harrison Bader or something like that, which Bader is still available on the free agent market. And if it comes down to a reasonable price, they could very well try to do that, and move, Junior to left field. I don't see the Mets making that potential move, but I'm all in favor for a young, hungry player, and I do think that Carson Bench is that perfect opportunity. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. Thank you. What do I think with AJ Minter? Will he be an impact guy for the lineup? I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with AJ Minter. To be exact. Go Phillies. um, do you think Devin Nunez would be really good for the bullpen? Where would you place him? Um, I think Nunez was a really, really good arm. Unfortunately, he ended up getting hurt last year. Before he ended up getting hurt, he was pitching lights out in that bullpen. I would probably go with probably the sixth inning on Devin Nunez. The one thing I love is his breaking ball pitch. He does throw it nicely at 78% of on that strikeout scale. The one thing that I'm really looking forward to with Nunez is to just keep that consistency in spring training, like he did in the first half of the season. And I think with looking at Nunez overall, maybe he could bring that pickup where the Mets need in that sixth inning spot, especially if you're going to take out guys a lot earlier into the game. But the Mets do got a lot of moves. Yeah, I really thought the Phillies were going to resign Bader. The thing with Harrison Bader, it's he had a perfect opportunity with Philly, signing with the Giants, moving on to different opportunities. He's a one-dimensional type of player. He's a hit and miss. You kind of have to look at it prospectively, like a player like him. He just wasn't going to amount for Queens. But, it's smart where the Mets kind of go with this, especially the way bringing in Roberts Jr., he has that, little bit of an upgrade to what the Mets had last year. And, then we could kind of go with the younger talent and opportunity with, Carson Bench. So we're definitely going to see him more so in 26. Okay, can we keep the comments professional, please? Love him. What do I think about Tobias Myers? Great pickup. Absolutely a great pickup. Again, talking about bullpen, talking about good arms. The one thing that I really, really love out of Tobias Myers is that he is not only a present surprise, but he has really great control with the off speed pitch. Not only that, but he's very sneaky around really good batters, and especially like a guy with the Phillies, with Schwarber. He was able to do that in 25, able to do that in 24. Tobias Myers definitely gives you that really good, bullpen presence. I think it was a smart move for the Mets to do that. What's my projection on David Peterson? Um, I think on Peterson, he kind of fluctuates. He kind of fluctuates a little bit. I know what we saw in 25. He was pitching really good until he started really declining. I'm not really worried too much on Peterson going into 26. If you could go just a little bit deeper into games, I really do feel that Peterson could kind of bring that presence that he did have in 25. Sometimes he'll fall, sometimes he'll readjust. I really do like his presence there on the mound. I think he needs to have a little bit more control with the off-speed pitch, kind of go a little bit with the slider at times. He gives up a lot of walks too, so I want to see a little bit less of that walk ratio on kind of getting the corners, but he needs to have a little bit better command. Um, do I think David Peterson can be a presence of an ace on the Mets? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think he's gonna start. He's not gonna be the guy to start. I think it's definitely um, a lot of contributors into that starting rotation. With saying hopefully he can get a bounce back on him. Bringing Nolan McLean. I think Nolan McLean should be the ace in my opinion, but obviously, bringing in the big move that the Mets have been making. I really do love the Freddie Peralta move. So, I mean, Freddie Peralta is definitely going to be the ace on the Mets. So more than likely going to be Freddie Peralta number one, maybe David Peterson number two. Maybe no, maybe Peterson number two, but I mean, I would like to see Nolan McLean to go number two, Peterson number three. I'm definitely going with Clay Holmes number four, Senga number five. Okay, we got a lot of questions going on in here. Please, I understand everybody is trying to get questions in. Please raise your hand, put the hand emoji so I could know when who's gonna go next. Um okay. What do I think that Clay Holmes is gonna do in 25? I think his numbers are gonna be just where they were in 25. I definitely think that with Clay Holmes, I mean, he was probably one of the better pitchers out of everybody last year. He was consistent. He started very well. Were there at times where he didn't pitch really good, didn't go deeper into games? Yeah, but I mean, he's got better control than really any pitcher on that rotation right now. Next to Freddie Peralta, but I think Freddie Peralta is he's your ace. But I definitely say Freddie Peralta as my number one. Uh, um. Okay, so we have here a roster change. Will I be at spring training? Absolutely, I will be. Yes. Who's going to spring training this year? Anybody going? Because if anybody goes, then what do you call it? You could come and meet me because I will be uh, 10 games at spring training. Kimball could be boost. I think Kimball could definitely be a good boost. You, if he could go back to true form, then I would definitely say it would be a really good pickup. I mean, he's a guy that you really need to kind of have that good transition. I like what David Stern's doing with that starter rotation, like what he's doing with the bullpen. You got a lot of depth there. I mean, do I think he's probably going to go in? More than likely. Yes. So yes, on that one, absolutely. So it would be, um, it would probably more than likely be Freddie Peralta. I just don't think that it would go anywhere else. It'll definitely go with Freddie Peralta. Then it would go with maybe Sean Mania. This is how I would call the lineup. I would go Freddie Peralta, then Nolan McLean, David Peterson, Clay Holmes, Kodai Senga. Did I miss somebody? No. Freddie Peralta, Nolan McLean, David Peterson, Clay Holmes, Sean Mania. That would be my five. Yes. Yes and no. That would be if they bring in Alex Carrello. That would probably be not a major. He would probably go back down to the minors. What do I think about Luis Garcia? Do I think that was a good move? Yes and no. I mean, he's another guy that's a one-dimensional type of pitcher. Do I think it improves the bullpen? Maybe. Yes, February 21st will be the first spring training game. If you would like to get all the spring training games, uh, days, and times, we do have it on our website by going to MetsXMFanZone.com. It all that is in our show notes. So you could go on there, you can see the roster times, you can see and all the games that do go live. We'll have it live on all of our on throughout all of our platforms too. So the spring, so yes, so spring training would start off with the Miami Marlins, and second game would be with the Blue Jays. Yes, absolutely. I would. Somebody said here, I will be at the Washington National game February 28th. Oh, cool, very cool. Will I be there on February 28th? Yeah, I'll be there. That I'll be at. I'll be at that game. Do I work a lot of those games? So I do like 2 weeks. So normally I'll do like the 2 weeks of games and spring training, and then I come back into New York. But normally during the summertime, I'm in New York. Normally during the winter time, I'm down here. I'm down in Florida, which I'm not in Florida right now because of the whole snowstorm. Forget it. Um. Yes, absolutely. So yes, if you cannot get games, you could get it on our website. Yes. who's in camp early. So right now, who we got in camp early? Freddie Peralta's here, from what I know. Juan Soto is there, from what I know. A lot of the pitchers are there pretty early. Francisco Lindor is down there early, from what I know. I think there's a few other guys down there. I know the catchers are down there too. Vientos and Mauricio are down there early. And I think that's pretty much as of what I know it right now. And obviously Mendoza's there. Because I know when I was down there, I was down for, what was it, 2 weeks, about a week and a half ago. I saw a lot of them down there talking with a lot of us media people. So, yeah, there was a lot. What do I think about AJ Mint? Is AJ Minter come back? Yes. So he will be, more than likely be slotted in that bullpen. Do I think David Peterson would be part number two? More than likely. I mean, could very well. I mean, I would put Nolan McLean as my number two, because if you got your top, got, Freddie Peralta, so you got Freddie Peralta as your probably your ace. He's definitely going to be your ace. Then I would go with Nolan McLean, then David Peterson, then Holmes. More than likely, Senga would probably be, the last option. That's if they put him there, unless they put Craig Campbell there. I don't see that, in my opinion. But they could probably do that. They could probably swap out Senga and put Craig Campbell there. But that's interesting. I don't know on how I would, look at it that way, unless they put in Sean Manaea down in the bottom of the rotation. Because, I think, too, is that the Mets, got a lot of options right now, especially with other arms being put in. Yeah, that's the thing. AJ Minter needs to stay healthy, because if he can stay healthy, he's a really good weapon out of that bullpen. And a lot to see, also the problem is too, a lot of these guys got injured, so we couldn't see a lot of these guys, like Nunez, like Minter, all these big, additions into that bullpen. You didn't get to see the full opportunity in a lot of them. So now that they coming in and staying, very healthy, that's going to be the game changer for the Mets in 26. Staying healthy, and if they can stay healthy, then we got potential. We got a shot at this, and plus with a lot of the new additions that the Mets brought in, with Polanco, with Simeon, with Bo Bichette now, I think the Mets have really good stability, especially with that lineup now, because now you got Polanco that's more than likely going to go into that DH role, and plus the Mets got a lot of good young talent in Carson Bench, also with Roberts Jr. now being as a new addition. The new addition the last few days was Craig Campbell. So I think, right now where the Mets are, I think they're in a very good position in more than likely getting a 90-win ratio. So I definitely see the Mets have some good flexibility in that starting rotation. Who is going to be the leadoff person is yet to be unknown. So, I mean, I honestly would like to put a DH spot in my number one. I would do that, but, I mean, you have to, see on where Carlos Mendoza is really looking to start off with. I wouldn't start off with Lindor. I don't think Lindor is meant to be at leadoff. I think, in my opinion, if you're going to put anybody into that leadoff position, I would put Luis Roberts Jr. into that leadoff position, in my opinion, because you have a good, fast player. Not a home run machine guy. He's a contact hitter. He is a contact overall, in my opinion, hitting 18 home runs last year, batting 211. I mean, he's kind of like a Jeff McNeil in a way, just a bigger upgrade over a Jeff McNeil. You think Cannon resigns with us to like a year deal? I like him. I like Griffin Cannon. I think he was a very good acquisition that the Mets had. Do I think that the Mets could, re-sign him? Probably. To a minor league deal. Well, I mean, that could be a move that they might do. I just don't see them doing that. I miss baseball. Baseball and hockey sucks compares to baseball. The thing with hockey, don't get me wrong, I love hockey, but I mean, it was insane this year with the Rangers. I mean, I think Chris Drury needs to go, in my opinion. I don't think Chris Drury is a very good GM. I mean, they dismantled. They gotta. They literally have to go and dismantle that team again. And basketball. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Carl Anthony Towns, big cat there. I mean, he needs to either readjust or they gotta trade him. I'm just very, very disappointed in the Rangers, though. People always ask me, do I like different other teams? What's my go-to other sport besides baseball? It's basketball for people. Love basketball. Basketball is my favorite second sport. Love my Knicks. That's my team right there. Football. I like football, but I'm not heavily involved with football. Oh, cool. Yeah, I knew about Sebastian. I knew he was a big Ranger fan. What it is. I think with the Rangers, having Mika Zibanejad, I think they're definitely going to trade him. I mean, a lot. I think with a lot. I think with that team has been so dysfunctional. When they were good in 20, they were so good in 23. It's like you have to now just break it all up. And then that's what happened with the Rangers. I mean, what happened with the Knicks. You had to break up the Knicks and rebuild. And now look where the Knicks are now. It's like and you look at the GM and it's like Chris Drury, what did he do to that team? It's just very disappointing. And I love hockey. Don't get me wrong. I think hockey is my third favorite sport next to baseball and basketball. But I mean, the NFL, forget it. Don't ask me about the NFL. I think the NFL is the biggest rig sport in all of sports, in my opinion. I think they favor all these bet naps, in my opinion. Uh, I do think that the NFL is just terrible. I hate the NFL. Last night's game, we saw New England. Well, was it New England? No, I know it wasn't New England. New England was the other game. I was watching it, and I'm going, "You watch. New England's gonna win." Yes, it was New England. I'm sorry. I'm like, "Watch. New England's gonna win." They won. I knew that was gonna happen. I saw those plays. I'm like, "Yeah, are you kidding me?" I'm like, New England. It's gonna be New England and Sam Darnold. It was like I was very interested. I figured Sam Darnold was going to win last night too. I mean, by the way, I had a parlay on FanDuel, and I won a lot of money last night. And it was on a $10 bet, And then I had to go and fight with FanDom. I'm like, are we kidding here? Has anybody, what is your, I mean, besides baseball, because everybody knows that I'm a big baseball fan, who is, what other sport do you guys like besides baseball? I'm a Jets fan, but besides the playoffs, I don't really watch the NFL like I do MLB. Yeah, that's the same thing with me. MLB, well, obviously, I work for MLB, so I mean, I watch baseball more. I love baseball altogether. You know, I love the New York Mets. The New York Mets are my favorite franchise team, but I love watching baseball. You guys are gonna, yeah, I mean, when the Mets are over, I'm watching another. I'm watching the Phillies, or I'm watching the. Well, I don't really watch the Braves. I'll watch Philly, and I'll watch the Yankees. And you guys gonna be like, Philly, really? Yeah, I watch Philly. I think Philly. I think Philly's a very interesting team to watch. You got to know your acquired taste when you watch those teams. Yeah, I think you know what it is with the New York Jets. To be fair, I mean everybody's like, we need to go fire Woody Johnson, and you know my wife could tell you because my wife's a big NFL person. She loves talking football, which I should get her on here more on my streams. But you know she's like, Woody Johnson. She goes, everybody that keeps saying Woody Johnson's got to go. I mean, is foolish because if you look at the NBA and you look at the Knicks, look on how Leon Rose has just Leon Rose I think is probably good for the Knicks. And we all wanted Jim Doling out of town and we got Leon Rose to, you know, be the glue to the New York Knicks and really put the Knicks together, you know, with Bronson and Big Cat and you know and OG Ananobi and I think in my opinion that's a really good you know example of a franchise that but I mean with the Jets being so dysfunctional, I mean looking at other franchises like the New York Giants, which to be fair, they shouldn't be in the same stadium. I think MetLife Stadium is the worst stadium I've ever been in, and I've been in terrible stadiums before. I mean, if you look at uh, the stadium in Brooklyn, that's terrible too. Watching both New York baseball teams of the Mets aren't playing and the Yankees are playing, I'll watch them. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch Yanks. Yankees don't. Everybody thinks that being a Met fan, you can't go and watch a Yankee game. I'll watch a Yankee game if I need to, but if I have to go and do a coverage of the Yankees, which my very good colleague Andy Martino, you know, does it too. He's like he'll do Mets and Yanks, and now that he's being corresponding now with the New York Mets now, and he's a big Yankee fan. So I mean, we get to cover. It's like you cover Mets, but then you're a Yankee fan, and now you get to watch them. It's a different type of scenery. Who was my favorite player growing up? Mike Piazza. Love Mike. No, 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 no. Who do I think that the Mets could get? I do think there's gonna be another sign. Um, Not a big on. It's more than likely not going to be a big name now. Yes and no. I think with the Mets and Yankees going with the whole, uh, changing of both franchises. I think with going with the conversions of what Rob Manfred is looking to do in kind of putting that congestion rule. It wasn't implemented, so I mean they're not looking to put both of the franchises, putting both in the same sort of divisions. It was kind of outlawed. They said no, we're not even going to do it. So it wasn't implemented. Kind of going with the putting those AL and NL together. No, so they're not looking to put the same rivalries together. I know they were talking about it last year, but no, they're not looking to do that this year. Now, however, this year, which you're going to see in spring training, is the automatic umpiring. They are implementing that from what I know, and that's going to be put into test in spring training, so you'll see that a lot. Don't really dislike the Yankees. The only time I root against them is when we play against each other. Yeah, I think the Subway Series is kind of like it's so outplayed now because back then it really was a Subway Series. You saw a lot of big key players, big key personalities like I mean you saw Andy Pennant, you saw Roger Clemens, you saw a lot of that was rivalry. That's why that was so big back then. Now a player can't even go on force or charge at a mount or hit anybody at that point. You don't see that a lot in the game now, but I mean back then it was brawl for brawl. It wasn't like there was a lot of replays and stuff like that back then. Now I just feel like it's being more so forced, and it's like you do it, and it's more for ticket sales. What do I think about the Mets roster so far? I think it looks good, in my opinion. Do I think they need to add any more pieces? Probably not. I mean, who do we got really for the infield? Really, think about it. You got Brett Beatty, Jorge Polanco. You got Bo Bichette, Ronnie Mauricio. You got Marcus Simeon. You got Francisco Lindor. You got Mark Vientos. I mean, Valar Baron, I think, was also a really good move too. He'll be your backup third baseman also, probably a backup second baseman too. I mean, backup first baseman. He's a utility sort of player, which we're going to be profiling on him in the upcoming week. Outfield. So what do I think about Louis Roberts Jr.? I think Louis Roberts Jr. will be all right. It kind of matter of on how they, the Mets kind of look at that, prospectively. I mean, me personally, I'm not a big fan of him, but I do think that he'll be a really decent, outfielder in my perspective. In regards to having a good bat, no, I don't think he was really impressive. But everybody's like, well, new change of scenery, Also, he could go back to his true form 3 years ago, and I don't know if I'm being persuaded in that regard, in my opinion. Do I think Jonah Tong would be in the starter rotation? Probably not. Tobias Myers, I think he's a very good bullpen piece. He was kind of like a little bit swept under the rug a little bit, in my opinion. I honestly didn't think the Mets were going to make that move. Where do I think Kodai Wasenga would be at the start? Uh that's a little bit hard of a question. I mean, I would honestly would like to see it a little bit into the bullpen. I mean, because you got to remember something too. Now the hamstrings are going to be issues. So if they want to put him into the bullpen, maybe I do think that he could be tradable. I mean, kind of go to another team. I mean, do I think he's good? I think he needs a bounce back year. I think a lot of Met players need bounce back years. That's like even Razabon. Razabon didn't have a good year last year either. But I mean, you saw some sparks out of him at a time. So I mean, it's like the Mets got a lot of boat of pitching. What do I think about Dylan Ross? Dylan Ross is a good. He's also another really good arm. The Mets got a lot of again, like I said, a lot of good pitchers in the bullpen. Do I think Christian Scott's going to be in the rotation? So he is scheduled to pitch game 2 at spring training, from what I know as of now. Christian Scott is going to be pitching game 2. Game 1, from what I know, more than likely would be Austin Warren. We are seeing it. So Austin Warren will be pitching game 1. Game 2 on Christian Scott. Game 3, I have it here, would be Justin Hageman. And game 4 would be Luis Garcia. And then game 5 would be Joey Gerber. So, starting off on week 1, we will not be seeing any of our top pitching. Do I think Jonathan will be at spring training? Probably. You're more than likely maybe might see him. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be up in our main roster though. No. I just don't think there's any spot for him in my opinion. Because now you got Minter, I mean you got Minter, Razabon, Warren, Christian Scott. The Mets got a bucket load of people. I mean we maybe might see him, depending on how. I honestly would believe, in my opinion, I think Senga would be the odd man out, because then you got Tyler McGill back. So I mean, you don't really know what you're gonna get out of him. I think you're going to see him pitch at spring training, too, just to kind of get a little bit back into rhythm. Uh, where the position for Reed Garrett? Reed Garrett probably might be into that bullpen, too. We're still yet to find out a little bit more on him. All right, we're going to take 2 more questions before we go live off air. Now, just so everybody knows, if you enjoyed our show, we will be live on Wednesday back here on our channel at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We always go live. We take a whole full live hour. Tomorrow we will be live on our 8:30 show. So if you guys would like to have all of your questions ready, if you guys got any questions. We do go live at 6 a.m., which will be on our live radio show. You guys could listen to me, where I give you some of your Met updates, giving you some of your Mets news, and also 8:30 we will be live again. Me and Mountain Man, we're going to be feeding off each other. He is my co-host early in the mornings. We're going to be talking about all of your latest New York Mets there. And if you guys enjoy the show, please share, like, and subscribe. Make sure that you guys do that, because I could bring you all your Mets content and all of your Mets updates throughout the regular season. So we're going to take 2 more questions before we go live off air. And also, just so you guys know too, is that any news updates, you guys can even check out our website by going to MetsXMFanZone.com. It is the ultimate destination on where the fans go. It's a great platform if you don't have streaming service. I definitely think it's a platform that we built last year with having 1.9 million followers on there. It was a great platform. Last year it was very successful. But if you are looking for a great platform, especially if you're under a budget, you guys got to go and check it out. It's MetsXMFanZone.com. We give you Met highlights. We give you Met stories. You guys can even join our community followers where you go post your comments. You can chat with other Met members. Even if you are a podcaster or if you want to talk Mets, MetsXMFanZone.com is the platform where you can chat with other members. You could go with our full live streaming platform on here as well. So, I mean, I could give you the opportunity to go live with us on our platforms each and every week. We do that once on every Friday where we get tons of members coming live on our show to broadcast your skills, your podcasting skills. And that will be every Friday throughout the regular season in 2026. So if you guys would like to check it out, if you would like to apply, you guys could go to MetsXMFanZone.com/apply. You could go and sign up today. So, and that's everything that we have for you guys tonight. We're not going to take any more questions, but we definitely enjoyed everybody tonight. Thank you guys. Be safe, be well, and let's go Mets.